When you ask a narcissist a question, with most people, you can ask a simple question and enjoy a two-way conversation with mutual respect and understanding. With a narcissist who often claims to hate drama, you can expect a whole world of drama and more besides, if you were to ask them something that they just don't agree with. So why is it so hard to ask a narcissist a question and receive a straightforward answer? I'm Elizabeth Shaw. Welcome to the channel, which is all about the narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with in your life, what you've been through within your life, and most importantly, how to recover from narcissistic abuse. A narcissist does not like it when you question them, as part of their disorder means they believe they are entitled, that they are special, they think they are superior, and they believe they are the boss of you. They think no questions are needed from you about what they have or haven't done, where they have or haven't been, who they've been with, as they will just never be accountable. It will most often be twisted straight back round onto what you did or what you did not do, where you've been and who you've been with. To a narcissist, unless they want us to know where they've been or who they've been with, it is none of our business. They'll often take questions from us as criticism. If we ask a question just to make a conversation with them, if we ask wanting to know something, or if we ask because we would like answers, these can all trigger a reaction from the narcissist. They do not want us questioning them, and if we've questioned them deliberately or not, as part of their disorder is entitlement, they believe they are entitled to do what they want, whenever they want, and they can feel criticism if they feel their rights to do as they please and their power over us slipping away. Even if we only asked, "Did you have a good day?" Depending on the mood they are in, they have to react to our questions. Even if we just ask to make a conversation, nothing more, nothing less, something as simple as, "Where have you been?" or "Did you have a good evening?" It's not only the question we ask, but it's also the tone we ask in. And the tone we ask in can cause a negative reaction from a narcissist, even if we don't mean to ask in a negative tone. To a narcissist, if our question is in a calm, non-emotional manner, they take it that we are not giving them the attention that they believe they are entitled to. That inner rage that they have will surface, and they can and they will lash out at us. To them, this is our fault. Not only have we criticised them within their mind by asking them a question, we also didn't provide them with the correct attention. They do class any form of questioning as them being held accountable to us, which in their eyes they are only accountable to themselves and nobody else matters. They take questions as them not being entitled to do as they please. This often angers them. Their inner rage rises and they have to hit back. They have to get their authority back and control back of us. And they also need our emotional reactions to heal the criticism they believe that they have received from us asking them a question, even though all we may have done is ask a simple question to start a conversation. Yet, as sometimes they can control their reactions, and they can have a normal conversation with us without reacting. Because they can control this and have a conversation, when they do react towards us, and they can react badly at times, it leaves us confused, it leaves us hurt and wondering what we did, as they can be okay sometimes. Their reactions over time when they do react, can leave us with all the self-doubts, all the anxiety, all the insecurities around them, and walking on eggshells around them so as to not set them off. You can no longer be yourselves around them for fear of reactions from just asking them when they walk through the door, did you have a good day? When we know where we stand with people, we know to stand with them or away from them. When people can treat us so well one minute, then so badly the next, often then punishing us with word salad, triangulation, silent treatment, and then blaming it all on us, it becomes a terrifying and a confusing place to live. If you ask a narcissist a question in an angry or an irritated way, usually they've done something they promised they wouldn't do or not done something they've promised they would. And as we care for others and stick to our word, or at least try to stick to our word, or at least apologise if we don't stick to our word or forget something, we then expect that behaviour in return from those who claim to love and care for us. Yet they'll often gaslight with responses such as, I love you, to the fact that they act like they don't. A narcissist can love you with words yet confuse us with actions. Or you get the classic, I never said that, or that never happened, which when we know that they did say that, or we know that it did happen, it leaves us hurt and confused by their response and questioning ourselves. Often our emotions then become heightened and we can become angry through the hurt or the resentment. They then enjoy that they have gotten to us and are receiving attention from us, and often negative attention from us. They will then downplay and outright deny any wrongdoing on their part and exaggerate our not so good but normal reactions to their toxic behaviour with you're too sensitive or the you're crazy. If we ask why they've not washed the pots or why they've not cut the grass in a irritated manner, their inner rage isn't always triggered, as they know they've annoyed us, they've gotten to us in some way, and they can use us against ourselves. They enjoy the emotional reactions and the emotional attention that they receive from us. As we've challenged them or criticised them, they don't like us questioning their authority, yet because of how we did it, they see it as an excellent opportunity to gain more attention from us. They will provoke our emotions to gain a bigger reaction. Then they'll blame it all on us. So we are the ones left with the self-doubt and believing that we are at fault, when all we did was ask a simple question. Where in a normal relationship you'd get a simple answer or a two-way conversation, or even when one's just feeling in a mood that day, you wouldn't walk away feeling overly hurt, confused or anxious. A trait of the disorder is arrogance and dominance. They also lack empathy, which is another trait to care. They lack the empathy to care for how we would feel on a genuine level. A narcissist will never admit they are in the wrong, as they believe we are the ones in the wrong. They will never let us settle a disagreement, as to them we shouldn't have questioned them or their authority in the first place. They believe they are superior and they don't need to answer to us. They don't believe they need to answer to anyone. They will reject any questions we may ask that challenges their behaviour. They will not explain any truth as to what has happened, and they will not admit any fault. Even with facts and evidence, they can throw major tantrums to avoid admitting any wrongdoings on their part, as they feel no need to admit any fault. They will always blame those around them. What they must do now to resolve the situation is they feel they must gain the power and control over us. If we are to continue to question them in a calm, non-emotional manner, that inner rage they have could surface. Then they lash out. To them, this again is our fault. Not only have we criticised their superiority, we also didn't provide the correct emotional attention. They will evade any questions we ask. We can never be able to have a normal conversation with a narcissist about anything within the relationship that concerns us. Their response is often scary, puzzling, or plain old strange and confusing. They will refuse to answer the questions to make us annoyed, angry, confused, upset, hurt, insecure, sensitive. That we cannot just have a straightforward conversation or answer with them. They just have an instinctive response to any form of questioning, and some have more calculated responses. These are some ways that you may have found that they have responded when you've asked them a question. A few examples of how they may respond. 1, they might try the "how dare you" after everything I do for you, which you can then end up questioning what they actually do for you, and they then twist it all around and it just goes into that nonsense conversation, crazy making conversation. 2, it could be the "why can you not leave me alone? Can we not just have a normal, simple, quiet life?" Even though we only asked if they'd had a good day, it's just to leave us hurting and confused. 3, they may completely change the conversation with the topic switch to something like, "I think we need to buy a new car," or to something happening at work, or some gossip they've overheard, which is usually a complete lie anyway. We will then try to get it back to the original conversation while they carry on deflecting. 4, to deflect by triangulation. They will shift the topic of conversation onto other people, away from them, to make the changing conversation onto talking about others. Things like, "My ex never questioned me, why are you?" Which leaves us with more questions and doubts, as they said their ex was crazy. Or things like, "Your sibling would do it," or "their friends never get questioned," leaving us with the self-doubts, again questioning who we are rather than questioning their actions and their responses. 5, repeatedly interrupting us, telling us that in fact we are the ones not allowing them to get a word in, which leaves us stunned and confused, as it's often the other way round. They are always looking at twisting everything around onto us, again leaving us confused, as it's actually us that cannot get our point of view across. They will tell us that we're raising our voice, we need to calm down, we need to think about how we're speaking to them, completely winding us up all the more, again, not actually engaging with us in the conversation that we started. So we have to start defending ourselves to them. Again, they twist this all straight back around onto us. 6, they might just demand that the conversation is over. They've had enough of talking to have their final say. They might spit in our face or push us, then walk away from us and give us the silent treatment to train us to never dare question their authority again. 7, after they've walked away, we may then receive the silent treatment present, where they are around us giving the silent treatment, or they might disappear for as long as the narcissist wishes to do so. 8, they will raise their voices above ours, as when we cannot be heard, they feel we cannot challenge them, leaving us in despair because we cannot get our point of view across. They no longer listen to what we say. Instead, they just see the frustration and anger, and then they lap up all the attention. 9, they might start questioning us about things we've done that they perceive as far worse, even if it's all in their minds. So we end up defending ourselves to our original question that we asked them. Yet we may continue with them when they do these things because of our empathy, and we want the reality of what's happened. We want closure, we like answers, we like conversations, we like communication, we like to find the middle ground, the compromise. We understand that people have different points of view and just want to communicate with another person. We will also want to be heard and the narcissist to understand our point of view and our feelings. We like things to be settled and sorted in a mutual manner. No need to wonder anymore why this can never happen with a narcissist. They do not do these things. They do not think or feel the same way that we do. They cause the arguments and cause us to have so many more questions and doubts within our minds. They gaslight us, so we don't know what's happened and nothing ever gets sorted out. To them, it's that we've criticised them. They are in charge of us, and they instinctively do these things when questioned to protect themselves and regain control. So ride out the storm of the waves when they come at you. Give no reactions. You'll not get answers from them. Look to yourself for the answers. Break free forever with no contact or grey rock and live a happy life for you. You can and you will. We have to learn that we don't have to defend ourselves to those that are unable or unwilling to listen to us. We also don't need the answers from those who continue to let us down and lie to us. We have choices within our own lives, and sometimes fear can hold us back from making the correct choice for ourselves. And with a narcissist, you do have to be extremely careful, as some are dangerous. So if you are still with them, always find a safe way out. Your safety is your first priority when it comes to dealing with a narcissistic person. But then it's a case of letting them go live their life, letting them be who they want to be, leaving them to it. I am all for consequences, but with these kinds of people, sometimes the best thing you can do is just step away from their games, because they find it very difficult to play when you are no longer playing with them. I shall add a video in the description about the smear campaign and the video on self-doubts. I shall also add the links to the courses that I have on offer and the BetterHelp, because you can find as much information on the internet about narcissistic people and what you've been through, and many people can recover with just that information. It depends what you've been through. It depends on who you are as a person. A lot of us do need extra support and help, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'll also add the video on how not to argue with a narcissist. So those that you can't completely remove from your life, you've got the tools and the tactics to understand that they understand on a pint-sized level where we understand on a gallon level. I can't remember who I heard that from, but it's an excellent phrase. They just do not understand on the same capacity that we understand. So learning how to just talk to them, how to diffuse them, how to talk to them on their level helps massively with those that you can't go no contact with, because they will use all your weaknesses against you. They'll use all your insecurities against you. They'll use everything possible to draw you in and leave you feeling frustrated. So once we learn to step away from that game our lives become a lot easier. If you have any advice, please add it into the comments, because it's all reading or hearing or listening that one thing that gives us that light bulb moment, that helps give us that closure and build on our lives and move on. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.